Yeah, we are a week out from WrestleMania. We'll tell you what happened last weekend and the fallout on Raw and SmackDown. Backlash coming up. Johnny North is with me. Let's do some wrestling talk. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do some wrestling talk. Hello, Johnny. Good evening.
How's it going, Dave?
Fine. How are you?
Good. I'm fantastic right now because Montreal Canadiens just won Game 3 in overtime, so I'm pretty happy right now.
Whoa.
Yeah. Everything's pretty great.
Wow.
I'm still the Project X World Champion, too.
What?
Yeah. Did you not just see it? Did you miss the overtime winner?
No. Well, yeah, I didn't see
miss it. You saw it.
No, I didn't see it at all.
Super chat.
I had no idea.
Yeah, we're getting already the super chats. Habs win. Yep. Life is good again.
There you go. Randallus dropping a super chat. Thank you, Randallus.
Yep.
Habs
Awesome.
win. Well, that's nice. Congrats.
Thank you. I did a lot for this. I earned this without question.
Yeah. You support them with the flag every week on the show, so that's something.
That's it. You know.
You buy
Most
merch,
games I
you
go
buy
to,
tickets. You support the team. Got to support
most
the team.
games I go to, they usually win when I go, so I definitely earned a lot.
There you go. They just won?
Yeah, they just won in overtime at the Bell Center. Whoever's downtown Montreal, please do not destroy Montreal. We still have a series to win, so
yeah, it's one game.
Kind tonight.
They're up 2-1 in a 7-game series. Like, if people are rioting tonight.
Wow. I don't know. I've seen the kids these days, like your son. Like, there's a lot of crazy people out there now.
Your son's 8 years old. He's asleep. What are you talking about?
You don't remember those photos? Like, we seen like these little kids, like there's these cars like pushed over and all that. You see the kids like giving the fingers and all that. You don't see that?
No.
That happened last time.
Okay.
Yeah, don't
Was
do that.
Was it 8-year-olds doing this? I highly doubt they were 8. They got to be at least 12.
No. I'm pretty sure they're pretty young. But still, like, and they probably weren't doing it. They're just around the team, right? They're with their dads, probably.
Great.
Horrible parenting. You're a good parent. You're not doing that.
Don't take your kids to a riot. Word of advice. I wouldn't put my kids in that type of situation. Seems dangerous. Well, congratulations that they won. I really don't like when they destroy the city after they win, or win. Yeah, not lose. When they lose, they just cry. When they win, they burn down the city, which is weird. So hopefully they don't do that this year. All right? Almost makes you root against the team because of the destruction the fans make, but, you know, it's all in good fun, I guess.
Well, again,
it's not my culture.
We're just starting the playoffs.
Uh-huh.
Playoffs are just starting. It's only first round. It's only game 3, so let's cool it. I'm sure it must have been rough for Sami Zayn. Like, he's got to be at SmackDown and watch the hockey game. Must have been torture.
I mean, it's an opening round. It's not. Like, is it that big of a deal? It's the first round of the playoffs. It's game 3. It's not even game 7.
Well, think about it. Like, say if it was like the Yankees against the Astros. I mean, if it was the first round, it's still a big deal, no?
Yeah. It was a big deal when the Yankees had their first round series last year and beat the Red Sox. That was good. That felt good. I didn't want to miss a single game of that. I like that. Remember that? That was good. You remember this week when the Yankees swept the Red Sox in Boston? That was pretty sweet.
Yeah, I remember. You know, it's a long season.
It is. It's still early. Yanks up 10-2 right now in Houston in the 7th, which is great. 10-2.
We have a match apparently going on right now.
Yes, we are watching SmackDown. We haven't talked any wrestling yet, which, you know, that's what we're here for. Rhea Ripley and Jessie Jane. Jessie Jane making her SmackDown debut here. She debuted earlier with her group Fatal Influence. So it's a 3-woman group. JC Jane and 2 other ladies who I'm not really familiar with, but they're at ringside right now as JC Jane goes one-on-one with Rhea Ripley on SmackDown. But the Fatal Influence group attacked Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Brie Bella, and Paige when they were in the middle of a match earlier tonight. So a lot of Fatal Influence tonight. Rhea Ripley cut a promo, and she was interrupted by them, and now JC Jane in the ring. Big night, big debuts. WWE releasing a lot of people today and bringing up people from the NXT roster. So I guess making room on the main roster for some new people. We see the Fatal Influence group here. I think Joe Hendry is being called up to Raw, and he'll be there Monday. We saw Ethan Page on Raw this past week. I feel like somebody else was on SmackDown tonight that was new. Was it just Fatal Influence?
Well, what's her name? Monroe's going to be on SmackDown next week. They said, or coming soon.
Oh, okay. Formerly Mariah May. So, yeah, they're bringing up people to SmackDown, to Raw, and they released some people today, which was the big news. According to Fightful Select, they dropped some news this evening. Aleister Black, Zelina Vega, Black's wife there, Zelina, Kairi Sane, all released by the WWE, which came as a surprise to me. I didn't expect Aleister Black and Zelina and Kairi to go. I thought they still had a spot on the roster. The Motor City Machine Guns also released. Santos Escobar. All members of the Wyatt Six gone. Dexter Lumis, Nikki Cross, Eric Rowan, Bo Dallas, and Joe Gacy. Alba Fire also released, according to Fightful. So, tons of releases from the WWE. I was surprised Aleister Black and Zelina got bounced so quickly. It feels like he hasn't been back in the WWE for that long since his run in AEW. And they haven't done much with him, and now that's it. Thanks for coming. Strange.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that. Zelina as well. I thought there was something they were building there, but no. Actually, Kairi might be the biggest shock because, like, she was involved in an ongoing storyline, and now that's not going to happen anymore.
Yes. And wasn't there a development this week? Didn't Kairi beat Io like last week?
Yeah, the week prior. They did some sort of segment backstage, if I'm not mistaken, or something. But that was about it this week. But still, like, she was involved, and it's ongoing. But she will not be ongoing.
Yeah, Kairi and Asuka lost to Io and Rhea Ripley on Raw this week.
Kairi took the pin, her last pin, probably.
Yeah. But still, like, she was involved, you know?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Surprising.
And that was kind of a blow-off for Io and Rhea, too. I feel like they're just going to go with Io and Asuka going forward and act like Kairi never existed. Because Rhea kind of said goodbye to Io. It was like an emotional farewell to her buddy Io Sky because Io is staying on Raw, and now Rhea Ripley, because she won the title from Jade Cargill, is on SmackDown full-time.
And it's so hard to be on every show, even though Danhausen does it every week, but whatever.
Well, I mean, Raw has Liv Morgan as their champion. It'd be weird if Rhea was also on Raw.
I mean, she'll be back on Raw eventually. It always happens. I mean, they don't stay true to this brand split. They never do.
They've been sticking to it pretty well lately. You have a few kind of back and forths. But for the most part, Although the Usos and Jacob Fatu seem to go wherever they want. Like, what brand are the Usos on? I think Jimmy's on SmackDown still and Jay's on Raw, but they're on both shows.
Cody was on both shows, even though he's the WWE champion for SmackDown.
Yeah, but that was kind of a special... Like, he's not always on both shows. He's just been on SmackDown. He was on Raw this week, but it was for that promo with Punk. It was a Raw after Mania. It's a different story. It's a special occasion. You know that.
Well, you weren't expecting Cody at all this week. I mean, I understand with the whole eye thing, but you got to put him on because he's the top guy. No Randy though, which is weird.
Yes. There was talk, before the match that Randy was hurt.
Yeah, maybe he is, sadly. Hopefully he's not.
It is weird, though, that Randy kicked Cody in the head and Cody's eye is all busted up, but Cody's the one on Raw and SmackDown and Randy's not even on SmackDown? Why isn't Randy on SmackDown?
I guess whatever they have going forward, they're not ready for. And to introduce a lot of new people, too. I mean, to be fair, this is taking up a lot of time to introduce everyone new. And your buddy Danhausen had a match, so that took up time as well and a bunch of segments. I'm sure you're happy.
Yeah, the match was kind of fun with The Miz. He cursed him. There was pyro. Kit Wilson was there. Danhausen won. Fun little match. Danhausen's on a winning streak. He's entertaining.
By the way,
there's so much on these shows that WWE does that's just not entertaining. And Danhausen is actually fun. So, yeah. I don't know what your problem is with Danhausen. I know you don't like the silly in wrestling, but sometimes you need a little silly.
I just think it's too silly. And I can't believe you actually like that stuff with The Miz at his house and all that. I thought that was god-awful stuff.
That wasn't my favorite, but Danhausen makes it all right. I kind of liked it. I did kind of like it. I like
I'm just glad it was short.
I like what he does. Yeah, it was short and sweet. It was fine. Couple of jokes. He's good. He's a good performer.
It was okay because it was short. I was happy because it was short. And it looks like Rhea's about to win here. By the way, you said this is like Jane's first match or debut in SmackDown. We saw her on SmackDown in Montreal actually a couple of years ago.
We did?
We did. Remember, I don't know if it was her or her partner that broke her neck almost or something. And then she was out for you didn't see her, I think, afterwards because it was a rough injury.
I have no
recollection
of that.
You were there.
JC Jane. The name is familiar, but can't place her. But then what? They sent her back to NXT?
She had another partner at the time. What's her name? Julie Dolan or something like that?
Oh, yeah. She got released.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. She was her partner?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah.
I'm telling you.
It's starting to come back to me. Didn't last
hazy memory.
Yeah, well, it didn't last very long, right?
Well, I think they only had that one and done pretty much, and then I guess one of them got hurt, and it was kind of hard to go forward with that, so they just put them back down to NXT.
The match still going on. We'll let you know what happens here. What's the main event of SmackDown? Jacob Fatu and somebody? Solo? Yeah. That was a fun little promo that they did. I am happy with the Jacob Fatu Roman Reigns program. I thought the promo that they did on Raw was good. I thought it was a nice way to finish Raw. It started something new. Roman Reigns coming to the ring with the Usos, saying, he missed this. He misses being together with the Usos and the family and, the bloodline, the way things used to be with him as the champion. He hasn't been champion for a while now, and he's back there with his cousins. And everything seemed to be right. And then Jacob Fatu comes out, and he's like, I want what you have, Roman Reigns. I want the championship. I don't want to join the group here. And Roman's like, you think about it. I don't think you're ready. You go back. I want all the good things for you, but you go back and we'll talk next week. And Jacob, challenged Roman to a match for the title at Backlash, which I think is a fun match, and hopefully they do it. They haven't made it official, but it feels like it will be. And I like that direction, and I like the stuff that they did tonight on SmackDown with the Usos and Jacob Fatu. Jacob in the ring saying, Roman says I'm not ready, but people have been telling me that my whole life, and I'm here, and I'm ready. And the Usos show up, and they offer Jacob a spot with them, like, just join us, don't fight against us. And Solo then comes out. What?
DQ.
Oh, DQ finish here. Yeah, the Fatal Influence now attacking Rhea. This is the second time that they've caused like a non-finish tonight.
And why not? Just DQs all night, I guess.
Second match they've derailed. Wouldn't you think that like Charlotte and Alexa and Brie and Paige might come out and help Rhea here because they got attacked by these three like an hour ago?
Spat on her.
Yeah, she spat on her. How come the baby faces from before aren't out to like get revenge on these three?
Well, I don't know if you noticed about Paige. Like, she really didn't do anything, and I think they're really going to limit how much Paige does because I don't think she can actually do that much. You remember her in AEW? Like, she'd wrestle for like 1 week, and then you wouldn't see her for 4 or 5 weeks. So I think it's very limited in what Paige can do. Like, I think she's cleared to wrestle, just not always wrestle.
I like Solo Sikoa coming out and telling Jacob Fatu, like, don't join these guys. What are they going to do? Teach you how to yeet? Like, they didn't bring you into the WWE. They don't really like you. I brought you into the WWE. I thought Solo was good, and then they set up the match, and Tama Tonga chimes in. He's like, you think Jacob could beat Roman? He can't even beat Solo. And then Jacob gets mad and super kick Tama. And we set up the match here in the main event, Jacob versus Solo, which, they've kind of done before with Jacob with Solo, the whole I love you Solo thing, and then I hate you Solo, and they broke up in their new Bloodline or whatever the hell that was called back then. But I like that Jacob is like not feuding with Drew McIntyre or somebody else. Like, he's involved with the family. He's involved with Roman. And he's coming for what Roman has. The money, the fame, everything. And he wants that for his own children. I like the promo. I thought it was a good, passionate promo from Jacob Fatu. Maybe the best one that he's cut since he's been in the WWE. We're seeing highlights of that now on SmackDown. I thought it was excellent stuff between Jacob and Roman. And it got me excited for the match. Are you into it?
Well, just going back to your thing you were saying before, like, so Jacob Fatu's on SmackDown, but he's challenging the Raw World Champion. You can do that, apparently? Like,
yes.
They're really sticking to that brand split, huh? Like, really keeping that together.
Well, Roman is set to answer Jacob's challenge on Monday on Raw. Yeah. I guess it was a program that they felt needed doing. It was a direction they wanted to go into. I'm not mad at it at all. I don't care about the brand split. Who cares? Who cares?
I got a question to ask you, though. Like, if you notice, like, when the MFTs came out, I felt... Did you see Tala Tonga? I didn't see him. Did he get released, too?
Not that I know of. I don't think you're allowed to release Samoans. That's illegal.
Well, if you quietly just don't, re-sign them.
Don't tell anybody.
Yeah, maybe that works.
I have not heard about him being released.
What's that list like? I mean, there's more people, no?
I think I gave you the whole... I gave you...
You gave me the Wyatt Six, you gave me Aleister Black, you gave me Zelina. There's
Motor
more,
City
though.
Machine Guns.
Right.
Kairi Sane. Santos Escobar. And some other people from Alba Fire, who was with Chelsea Green.
That's big.
Yeah, what's that about?
Yeah. Wow.
Zoe Stark.
Well, that's unfortunate. I guess she was just cleared to come back, and then they released her. That's too bad. I mean, especially the way she got hurt. She never got to have a comeback. Too bad.
You know, things happen. It's pro wrestling. It's tough business. WWE, it's hard to stay in the company.
Yeah, there's only so many spots. I mean, I know you talk about it's a long show and they drag and all that, but still they only have so many people that they want to have on both rosters. So it's going to happen. It happens almost every year, does it not? A little bit after WrestleMania. So just now looking at that list, though, who do you feel has the strongest chance of going to like AEW or another Fed, probably like TNA?
Motor City Machine Guns.
AEW or TNA?
Either.
Okay. Yeah, I can see them in TNA. I don't know AEW. Like, we'll see.
I don't know about Aleister Black. That's a weird one.
I could see Zelina in AEW. That would make sense.
I could see Santos Escobar in AEW.
That too, yeah. I could see that.
I think Nikki Cross and Alba Fire would both be great additions to AEW's roster.
Well, the thing about Nikki Cross, though, like, I don't know about you, I feel like she hasn't wrestled in years. Like, she was around, but she wasn't really doing anything. And, like, wasn't she going back to school in the meantime? So, like, does she even want to wrestle anymore? Is that the plan for her?
No idea. No idea. But when she did wrestle, she was pretty good. So,
I felt...
You know, I would think she'd have a spot.
She had something when she was with Alexa. But I felt
Nikki
after
ASH,
that...
the superhero thing?
I don't know about the superhero stuff. I felt when she was in that tag team.
Yeah.
The tag team was good. But after the tag team fell apart, it felt like she lost her way. And they never really bounced in for her. Then the whole thing with the White Six happened. And then she just stopped wrestling, period. So, and that makes sense if she's going back to school and she got a degree, and good for her. And if she doesn't want to do wrestling anymore, well, she started a new career doing something else. So good for her.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what's next. Kairi Sane in AEW would be cool. Kairi Sane anywhere is cool. Kairi Sane's great. Kairi Sane in WWE still would have been good. I don't know what happened there. She is, to me, the biggest one of the whole group. She is, like, the most valuable. Like, if I had to pick one person to sign, if I was a wrestling promoter, I would try to get Kairi Sane.
Her or Zelina. I feel Zelina, there's a lot of untapped potential there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's
They almost had it.
But Kairi in the ring, I think, is superior.
What's happening now here? Like, Charlotte saying something to Rhea?
Oh, I think Rhea Ripley is complaining about why they didn't come and help her. And Alexa Bliss is like, hey, I'm hurt. I'm here in the doctor's office. And Charlotte's like, hey, get out of my face, Rhea Ripley. Which, now that Rhea's on SmackDown, Charlotte and Rhea could happen again for the belt, brother. Not bad.
There's potential. I don't see it happening right now.
We have a new U.S. champion. Tiffany Stratton beat Julia tonight to win the U.S. title, which I really saw coming. I was in the room there watching the show. I was like, oh, Tiffany's about to win the belt. This is clearly the plan. It's the SmackDown after Mania. They're doing a bit of a reset. Tiffany just got a title shot last week. She's winning the belt here. And then she did. Match was okay. Was what it was.
That was fine. A little chaotic at times, but there was some good action here and there. It was all right. Like, I think it was a decent way to start the show, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, you get a title change at the beginning of the show. I thought they started SmackDown pretty strong. You know, you had the Jacob Fatu and Usos and Solo promo, which was good. Nice way to set up the show. Then you had Tiffany and Julia. You have a title change there. And then, you know, you had a Bliss and Charlotte against Brie and Paige. I thought the Brie and Paige promo was a little clunky. You know?
I mean, have they ever really been good promos, both of them? Like,
no. And then they went to the match, but the match didn't last very long before there was like an interruption with some new people, so that was fun. Cody Rhodes cutting the promo in the ring, I thought was solid. You know, Danhausen beating The Miz was fine. Hasn't been a bad SmackDown tonight. I didn't care so much for the Trick Williams, Lil Yachty thing with Sami Zayn as the gingerbread man and hitting them with the candy cane. I mean, whatever. Kind of loses me on that. But overall, SmackDown's been okay. JC Jane, Rhea Ripley was something. Not a bad episode of SmackDown tonight, John.
I mean, it gives you hope for the future here. They're trying new things, introducing new people, starting new storylines. Yeah, it feels a little bit fresh, but it also feels like things are missing. Like, Randy Orton needs to be on the show, and he's not, so that's unfortunate. I also feel like there's something, like, in terms of shocking. Like, Raw ended with a good, like, oh, Jacob Fatu, Roman Reigns, like, that's big. Something's got to happen here at the end of this show, too.
I don't think anything's happening. I think we're just going to have a match where Jacob Fatu looks strong. Setting him up.
Probably right.
I think this is just a match to, like, elevate Jacob. Jacob looks good, beats Solo, and then you go, ooh, he could beat Roman.
Well, when you think about it, that's a huge match for Backlash. I feel like it's too big for Backlash. I can't see them having any other big-time matches at Backlash. That's going to be easily the main event, and all the other matches are just clearly undercard matches, I think.
For sure. It's Roman Reigns for the belt. He's the main event. He's the main attraction. Especially if Cody's not wrestling at Backlash. Roman has to main event. Is this the start of a new Roman Reigns heel run? Is this like just renewing the bloodline? You got the OTC, you got the Usos there, and they're going to screw Jacob Fatu out of the belt, and we're just doing this whole thing again?
You say heels. I don't know if they're really heels because they're still cheered. It's just they act the way they've always acted. But now they're kind of beloved for it. So
yeah, but if they screw Jacob Fatu out of the belt where he's by himself and, you know, he's got some heat, people like him. He's got some momentum going into the match. I think people might get mad at Roman if he and the Usos do some dastardly things. I think, you know, he may get cheered in the short term, but long term, if they keep screwing over baby faces that the fans like, I think it could be a heel turn.
Potentially. I don't know. I really think the fans have decided that they love Roman. I mean, they're going to be upset little things, but they'll forgive Roman easily. And by the way, Tala did not come out again with the MFTs.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's hurt.
Maybe. Yeah, you could be right. Who knows?
How about this? Cody Rhodes cut that promo with CM Punk. CM Punk was talking and saying, you know, he's thankful and he's grateful and all of this stuff. And it was a good promo from Punk. And he talked about how you never know when another title opportunity might fall out of the sky. And then here comes Cody Rhodes, a WWE champion. And he's like, what is this, Punk? Like, I thought you'd be mad and I thought you'd be, you know, this and that. And they kind of ended it where, you know, Punk leaves and they're friendly. And Punk leaves and Cody goes, you know, Punk, just say when, anytime, you know, you can get a title shot, basically. Which I don't think it's going to happen now. Cody is on SmackDown. Punk is on Raw. But it did lead me to believe that, okay, maybe they are setting something up for next year's WrestleMania already where they do Cody versus Punk for the belt because that would be a big match. That is a WrestleMania main event. And, why not? Cody's gone through Roman Reigns, John Cena, and Randy Orton, 3-4 years in a row at WrestleMania with some top-flight opponents. CM Punk would be another one who you could put on the list as all-time greats, future Hall of Famers, to wrestle Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. I think there's a lot you could do there. I think promo-wise, match-wise, you could do a lot. Punk Cody next year, I think that they planted some seeds for that this week on Raw. They like to do that. They like to plant some seeds for some potential main events on the Raw after WrestleMania, and I feel like that Punk Cody promo only existed to set us up down the road, months down the road, possibly a year, to a Cody Punk title match, which I'm also interested in. I'm down for that.
I think you're right. Just as we saw with last year, where I felt like they were hyping a Seth Roman match for Mania that obviously didn't happen this year.
Yeah.
Some things, don't go the way you plan. Like, yeah, maybe that's what they would like to do, but things happen throughout the whole year and things get changed around and things happen. Some people end up being too over. It's like, well, we got to go in this direction instead. So that could happen, and injuries, obviously.
Yeah.
I say wait and see on that one. I just feel Cody is champion again for a whole year. That'd be a lot for people to take. That'd be kind of hard, I think.
Oh, he could lose it and find his way back to it. I could see him losing it to Randy when they have a rematch and then finding his way back by Mania next year.
Well, that's it. Maybe it's the other way around. Maybe Punk will be the WWE champion going in. They could do that.
Yeah. Yeah, that could happen too. Ooh, what is this? A Ricky Saints promo, formerly Ricky Starks. Is he coming to SmackDown? He's getting called up too? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Could
well, you didn't mention, but I think Apollo Crews got released, yes. Right? So they didn't release a lot of lower tiers, so they got to fill up SmackDown now, right? So,
Ricky Saints will debut next Friday on SmackDown.
I could see Apollo Crews in AEW, by the way. I know, like, you have other picks and all that, but Apollo Crews in AEW, I think I could see that.
Yeah. Underrated talent, really underused by the WWE. I think he could do good things in AEW. I agree. I think they could probably get him at a pretty good deal, too. As far as Roman Reigns goes for next year's Mania, I think the match with Seth is still in play. I think Roman and Seth would be big. Also, Roman and Braun Breaker might wind up happening. Maybe Roman and Gunther. I think there's a lot of cool options for Roman Reigns next year.
Well, and there's always the match with The Rock that you could always potentially do. So
yeah, in Roman, Saudi too, the money might talk.
Yeah, it was just such a great idea to make Roman champion because it just opens the door for so many possibilities, not just at Mania, but for his whole title reign period.
Yeah, it would be big. The Rock would be as big as you could possibly get. Can't get bigger.
Yeah, easily. It's the biggest match WWE can do right now is that match.
Yeah, so that's always a possibility for next year's WrestleMania. I'm seeing Angelo in the chat mentioning that the Wyatt Six got cut. Yeah, indeed, we have been talking about those cuts. We didn't really mention the Wyatt Six. It was a group that just didn't work, and they released the whole group together today, like everybody, including Bo Dallas, the brother of Bray Wyatt. It was brought back as like a Bray Wyatt tribute group in a way, and it just, it had some momentum before it debuted. Like, people liked the promos that they were doing, but then once it started and once the match once the bell rang, it just lost everything. They tried to do this thing with the MFTs and this whole feud, and it really went nowhere. And I think they finally got the lantern back like last week or 2 weeks ago, and
yeah,
then they all got released. Like, I'm not surprised, But it is kind of a bummer for those guys. Like, obviously, it sucks to lose your job in that way. And it just, the group never got off the ground. It never worked. And it felt like it was a matter of time before they ended it. I didn't expect them to release all of them at the same time, but again, that's kind of how wrestling works sometimes. If they don't have anything for you, they let you go. You go figure it out on your own, or you don't.
Well, I felt on Raw it actually was working a little bit. Remember when the lights would go out and they would like attack Chad Gable?
Yeah.
And they left the lane. Like, I thought that was actually something. They barely wrestled, but at least they were doing something and they were getting attention. I felt when they went to SmackDown that was like the slow death for them pretty much because nothing was happening for so long. And then when they finally started doing something, it wasn't really that important. And I think the luster of the Bray Wyatt tribute is kind of worn off at this point that no one really cares about it anymore, sadly.
Yep. So they are all released by the WWE among many, many others today as we watch the MFTs. They're still on screen. Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu in the main event of SmackDown right now. We mentioned Seth Rollins there. Seth had a run-in with an NFL guy, some sort of show that he's on. Did you see this?
Yeah, I think it's a work.
Is it, though?
Yeah, I think so.
But the guy was being pretty disrespectful to, like, wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, the wrestling business. I saw the clip, and he's saying some pretty terrible things about wrestling. You know, it's all predetermined, it's fake, it's this and that. Like, he was being very rude to Seth. He wasn't treating him like a guest in any kind of way. I could see Seth just going, you know what, that's enough. And that's what he did. And people are saying it's a work. Some people are saying it's not. I would kind of lean on not. If it is a work, I think it was very well done. Because that guy came off like a real dick, and Seth came off like a guy just annoyed. It wasn't bad. You know, as far as like an entertainment, like TV going off the rails moment. But I'm not sure what to make of that. You think it was a total work?
Well, didn't they see each other again the next day or something? Like, isn't it
Did they?
Not worked out, but like they're continuing it, kind of? It feels like.
Okay, so it was a work.
Well, maybe it was upsetting to say and all that, and like possibly in that moment, some people felt like, "What the hell's going on?" Because maybe they didn't tell everybody. I could see that happening. But I don't think, like...
I'm seeing a video of them hugging each other. So it was a work between them? But nobody else knew? So they just...
Right, that makes sense. That makes... How it went down, that makes a lot of sense.
Huh. Or maybe people were saying it wasn't a work, but this is them just trying to smooth everything over because their bosses told them to. I don't know. It seemed like real. The guy was being very rude, but I guess that was the point. The WWE, they're doing these weird works with like podcasters and talk show hosts. Like Jey Uso attacked Cameron on his podcast. And that led to nothing.
That, yeah. Well, it led to what Roman said.
What did he say?
He said, "Oh, you're getting trash talk by some washed out rapper from the 90s."
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why is that happening?
Because the whole thing right now, WWE loves the whole celebrities. And like, if they can get anyone who's got some clout, bam, we got to use them. Promote that.
So they're doing like pro wrestling angles on these talk shows and letting these people that aren't in the wrestling business in on the work. And they're only doing it it's like promotion. It's promotion for WWE, I guess, because you get like a viral clip out of it. It's promotion for these podcasts and TV shows because people pay attention to them. But it doesn't actually, it's like a new thing that they're doing. It doesn't actually carry over to the TV shows. Like the Raw or SmackDown or whatever. Usually when a wrestler would go and like attack a person on a TV show, it would tie into then a match at a pay-per-view that they were promoting. But that's not even the purpose of that. That's why I'm confused by it, because it's like a new thing that they're doing. They're just doing works like an angle on a podcast just for the clip and the podcast, just for the publicity. It's a publicity stunt just for the sake of publicity, not to promote a match, not to sell tickets, just to raise the profile, which makes sense. But it's unusual and not really ever done that I could think of in wrestling. For the most part, if you're doing an angle with like a talk show host, like a Jay Leno, like Hogan and Rodman did back in the day, it was for a match. Or Hogan and Bischoff, right? It was Hogan and Bischoff versus Leno and DDP? Or was it Hogan? Yeah, it was Hogan and Bischoff.
There was a lot of different things that happened. I mean, they promoted, obviously, the Karl Malone match with Rodman as well. They did a lot of stuff with the Tonight Show.
But Leno wrestled in a match one time, right? And it was against Hogan and Bischoff with DDP as his partner?
That was several weeks on the Tonight Show. I mean, they were on the Tonight Show.
No, but that's not what I'm saying, John. Didn't they do one match? Like, Jay Leno wrestled on a WCW pay-per-view in a tag match, did he not?
Yeah, I think it was a Road Wild or a Bash to the Beach, one of those two.
It was Jay Leno and DDP versus Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff, which is crazy. I got to go back and watch that and see how terrible it was. Pretty sure Kevin Eubanks got involved, brother. He was all jacked at the time. Jay Leno's band leader on the Tonight Show. But they did all of that stuff to like promote matches. But this is not that. This is just, when he attacked Cameron, I was like, okay, well, this is a work. Maybe Cameron's going to be at WrestleMania. But then he wasn't, and I was like, what was all that Cameron stuff for? And it turns out it was just for the Cameron show and for Jey Uso. Weird.
It's bad when you do something like that. This is the problem. I think this is a big reason why they didn't do a lot of it, because you expose yourself. I feel Jay exposed himself because he has that fight with him, right?
Yeah.
And the fake punches look so bad.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't do it.
It exposes the business in so many ways. It's not good. Like, you're letting people in on things they shouldn't be in on. You're letting people pretend to be wrestlers that have no business, that never stepped even in ropes, and they're like doing wrestling angles. You've never been in a ring and you're doing a wrestling angle with a pro wrestler. I don't love it. I don't love it. It's not the wrestling business I grew up in, that's for sure. This is a whole different entity. They would have never done this in 1992. You know what I'm saying? This wouldn't be allowed.
Well, I could see them do it. It's just, it wouldn't be to the level that it's going to right now. Like, as we've seen with Hogan sometimes, like, it turns into an actual shoot with that kind of stuff.
That's right, brother. Richard Belzer, brother. That's what you get, dude. You get choked out, knocked unconscious, brother. What a documentary. I loved it. We got to talk about it.
Well, we'll talk about it. Don't worry. It was 4 episodes. It was something, that's for sure.
Well, let's talk about it. What are we doing here? We're doing a pro wrestling show. What else do you want to talk about? Cody Rhodes? Cody Rhodes got a promo tonight. He talked about how he's there, how Randy Orton isn't there, how Randy gave him his best shot with the punt after the match, and Cody's still standing, but where's Randy? Cody talked about Sami Zayn, said Sami's being condescending and called him the Golden Boy, so he wore gold at Mania to show him he is gold, and he always will be golden. Cody tells, also, I really like the line where Cody told the outside forces trying to interject in his WrestleMania plans, they're 0 for 3 send your best, count your damn money, and mind your damn business. I thought that was really good. That was a good little shot there. 0 for 3, so let me see.
Not
0
true.
for 1 was
Travis
this
Scott
year.
actually worked.
0 for 1 was this year with the Pat McAfee thing. 0 for 2 was last year. Rock wanted Cody to turn heel, but Cody said no. So that's 2. What's the 3?
But he lost.
Oh, 3 was when they tried to do Roman versus Rock, but people wanted Cody instead, and they did Cody instead. Yeah, Cody lost, but he kept who he was. He didn't turn heel like they wanted him to. The outside forces, the TKO people. This year they tried to take it away with Pat McAfee. Last year they tried to make him turn heel, and instead John Cena did it, and Travis Scott disappeared, and The Rock disappeared, and everything went to shit. 0 for 2, Cody still won. Cody's still on top. He lost the match, but he won in the end. He's still the man. He's still Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare. And then 0 for 3 was the year before when they tried to make Rock versus Roman. And the fans were like, nah, it's Cody. And then Cody finished the story. So 0 for 3. 3 years in a row. Cody Rhodes. The best.
Again, we'll see how this goes. Like, I think it's going to be really hard to keep it interesting with Cody. Like, I give him a lot of credit for getting his swollen eye and fighting through that, but in terms of like opponents to face, like say Randy, I can't see anyone else for him. I feel like he's gone through so many people now. There's not much for him.
I don't think Jacob's going to beat Roman. I think Jacob and Cody still hasn't been done and should at some point.
Well, you got to build up Jacob after he takes the loss to Roman. You got to build him up again.
I don't think he's going to take a clean loss to Roman. I think he's going to get screwed by the Usos. And Jacob Jacob has defeated Solo Sikoa, hit the moonsault, pinned him 1, 2, 3. That match is over. The MFT's trying to attack Solo, but Solo looking very strong, showing that he can take, a leader of a group down, even if he has outside help, showing you that he can beat Roman Reigns because he is not only beating up Solo, but he's now beating up the MFTs who tried to attack him after the match, taking on, 3, 4 guys at once and just whooping their ass while the Usos watch. And now Solo with a splash putting Tongaloa through the announce table. So this is, the build of Solo, like I said. This is making Solo look very strong because they're setting him up for Roman Reigns. You got to have him believable at Backlash. This is making him believable. Beats Drew at WrestleMania, and now beats Solo clean and takes out all of the MFTs while the Usos just watch. And that's the end of SmackDown. I kind of said what would happen, right? We didn't need to watch any of this. I told you what was going to happen before this match even happened. And now it happened. I think I could tell you what's going to happen on SmackDown before it even happens most weeks. I really don't need to watch. I was like, Tiffany's going to win this match, U.S. champion. Solo's going to lose clean to Jacob, pushing Jacob strong for Roman. None of this is a surprise. I know you were hoping for a big surprise at the end of SmackDown, but you're not going to get it, Johnny. That's the show.
It's unfortunate. I thought SmackDown wasn't that bad, but kind of a flat ending.
Yeah, but, it's all about the Roman Solo build.
And that's fine. Like, it'll be a fine match at Backlash. It's the reason to watch Backlash.
Yes.
I was hoping for something else. I mean, I think surprises in wrestling, that's what really intrigues a lot of fans. And I just felt they could have added at least one more surprise there. It's a SmackDown after Mania. I think maybe they would do something, but they had new people. That's about it.
Yeah, they had new people, and they fired a bunch of people. So, surprise.
Circle of life.
The Lion King.
Matata.
There you go. See Antoinette checking in. She says, was that Antoinette?
She didn't see it. She didn't watch SmackDown because she was at the Blue Jays game.
Yes. I thought I saw that in the chat. I saw that pop up on the screen. Yeah, she didn't watch. Shout out to Antoinette and Angelo supporting over at joined.ringsidereport.net. Antoinette did not watch SmackDown tonight. She went to the Blue Jays game. She's out in Toronto. Blue Jays lost 8-6 to the Guardians. Sorry about that, Antoinette. Too bad you didn't get to see them win. Scherzer on the mound. Well, you got to see Max Scherzer. He's pretty cool. But I guess he gave up some runs. 8-6. When did those runs score? How did Scherzer do? Did he give them up early? Ooh, yeah. 5 in the first. Yikes. Well, Scherzer is like pretty old, right? How long is he going to go for? Scherzer is 41 years old, still pitching in the major leagues. Good for him. Although, wheels might be falling off. Giving up 5 in the first inning. 2 1/3. Yikes. Gave up 2 more in the third inning, and then they pulled him. Yikes. Not a good night for Max Scherzer and the Blue Jays.
Ball game over. Yankees win.
Right on cue.
Yankees win!
Sorry, Antoinette. It just happened. The Yankees just won. That's why. That just happens when the Yankees win. My Yankees just won, which is nice. 12-4 in Houston. Which is crazy because, like, they had a game last night in Boston, and less than 24 hours later from the end of the game, they had another game in Houston. I thought, oof, it's going to be tough. Traveling to Houston, another game, like back-to-back, you know, and they pulled it off. Not only did they pull it off, they destroyed the Astros tonight 12-4. Yankees winning their 7th in a row. Getting my hopes up here, but it's still April, so I'm tranquilo. I'm keeping cool, but yeah. Nice. Sweeping the Royals, sweeping the Red Sox. Maybe we sweep the Astros. Maybe everything is going to be okay. Maybe this is our year. That would be pretty nice. I would be thrilled. The Rays win again, though. God damn, these Rays keep winning. The Rays are for real. The Rays are for real. Surprised. Second place, Rays. 14-11 record. Yankees 16-9. Good enough for first in the East. Good enough for best record in the American League. Hey now, how about that? It's pretty good. I'll take it. Best record in baseball, John, belongs to the Atlanta Braves. 19-8 right now.
Not the Dodgers. Wow.
No, the Dodgers are actually tied for first with the Padres. A 17-8 record currently. Padres are surging.
Well, at least Antoinette gave me congratulations for the Habs win. Didn't congratulate you, but that's okay.
That's great. Are the Maple Leafs in the playoffs?
They are not. It's only Montreal, Edmonton, and Ottawa.
As Canadian teams? Montreal, Edmonton, Ottawa. Okay.
That's right. Edmonton's currently playing right now.
Oh, yeah? Who are they playing?
They're playing the Anaheim Ducks right now.
Okay. They're losing 2-1 to the Ducks after the first period. I got the scores in front of me. Series tied 1-1. And the Mammoth are beating the Golden Knights. What the hell is a Mammoth? Is that Utah?
Utah. Yeah.
Right. They have a team now. The Mammoth. The Mammoth are in the playoffs, John. Be careful. Watch out.
Have you seen their Zamboni? You haven't seen the Mammoth Zamboni?
No.
You should check it out.
Antoinette says Ottawa sucks. As a city or a hockey team? What are we talking about? I don't hate Ottawa. Ottawa's all right. I've thought about moving to Ottawa many times. Something about Ottawa makes me go, yeah, I could see that. Seems all right.
It seems peaceful, Ottawa.
Yeah, it's kind of
nice. I
would
say that.
Yeah, I don't hate Ottawa. I don't hate the city of Ottawa. I gotta say, I kind of like it. Every time I go, I'm like, yeah, it's nice. It's a nice little... It's not bad. Montreal's okay, but Ottawa, I don't know. A little bit more... Seems a little more even, you know? Well, Antoinette likes Toronto. Toronto's exciting. Toronto's fun. Toronto's definitely not Ottawa.
Yeah, it's bigger.
I do remember Ottawa was the worst wrestling crowd I've ever been a part of. I went to a SmackDown in Ottawa once, and the crowd was just dead. They had no energy. I was like, what is going on? Edge comes out, and they don't even pop. And I was like, what the hell? It's very strange. No energy. The vibe in Ottawa is very kind of flat. So I think, which I kind of like as like an everyday life. Like it's kind of nice, peaceful, but when you want like excitement, I don't think they really bring it. No disrespect. I'm just saying. They've never won a Stanley
You don't
Cup.
like Ottawa.
I like it though. I like the city. I like the city of Ottawa.
It's actually,
it's
incorrect. Ottawa has won the Stanley Cup, like I think 4 times, possibly. I think.
What? The Ottawa Senators?
Yeah, you might want to look back in their history. I mean, it was way before we were born, but they've definitely won the Stanley Cup before.
But didn't they just come into the league?
And they left, and then they came back.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that they were gone.
You weren't born yet.
Huh?
You weren't born yet, so
no, I didn't know that.
You wouldn't know
so
that.
They have won the Stanley, but not the current incarnation of them.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. All right, John. Easy. What do I know about hockey? Nothing. I'm good with that. I am good. I'm a wrestling guy. So WWE is happening. Backlash is coming up in 3 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 more weeks of TV before Backlash. It's coming up.
I won't be here for that. I'll be in Sudbury defending my heavyweight championship. So
there you go. Good. Well, I'm sure my brother will be here for that. Stepping in.
Good.
So you want to talk about the Hogan documentary? I mean, I thought it was good. I liked seeing Hogan tell the stories and Linda and all the interviews. I thought it was a fun watch to see the history of Hogan. Obviously, they skipped over some stuff. You're not going to do everything, every little detail of a man's life in 4 hours. But I thought what they got was interesting, entertaining. I learned a couple new things. I liked seeing Vince at Hogan's funeral speaking. I thought that was interesting to see. Some new footage that I had never seen before that they were keeping for this documentary. Triple H talking to creative when Hogan died, telling him how they're gonna operate with Hogan going forward. So I thought it was pretty good. I liked the little inside stuff. I liked hearing from Hogan. I liked seeing the rise of Hogan. I enjoyed it. The highs and lows of Hulkamania. As a Hulkamaniac, I was entertained. It's crazy that Hogan's not here anymore. It's crazy. Real sad to see Jimmy Hart, So sad about Hogan. It was nice. I know you had some problems with it, John, so tell me. And I'll shoot them all down.
Well, no, but first to say that it was heartbreaking, the ending of it, because obviously Hogan passes and everyone is very sad about it. Or at least the people that you see. They even say some people in WWE, if they didn't want to be there for it, they didn't have to be there. And
yeah.
Some of them weren't. But it's heartbreaking because I've met Jimmy Hart, and to see him talk about Hogan like that and be sad, it breaks my heart seeing that. I know Jimmy's a great guy, and to see him sad like that is terrible to see.
Yep. He suffered through a lot in his life, too. Lost a child. Sad. Jimmy Hart. Tough life.
Yeah. Well, that's tough. And for the most part, I would recommend this, actually, just because the home videos that they show in this documentary kind of make it special.
Yeah.
So
I loved it. It was a great part.
It had a different kind of flavor to it. It's like, wow, this is something very personal that you wouldn't normally see. So it makes it special for that. So now, obviously, like you said, they can't cover everything. There should have been more than 4 episodes. I think there's more you could have covered. So I think it should have got more episodes.
Yeah, well, maybe they would have done a season 2 had they been able to do that second interview 3 months later, but Hogan unfortunately passed away. Like they said at the end of the thing, like, okay, we'll talk to you again in 3 months, and then they're like, well, 3 months later, he died. Yeah.
I'm surprised. They must have thought of talking about the whole union issue with Jesse, because Jesse Ventura's in this. He's one of the talking heads in this, and yet they never bring it up whatsoever. So
yeah,
I was kind of surprised by that.
Well, Jesse, I think, they were trying to remember him in a more positive light, and they weren't trying to just do a total burial of Hulk Hogan. They pointed out some things, some inaccuracies. Bret Hart took shots at Hogan. They made, they brought some reality into Hogan. He addressed some controversies, but you're not going to turn it into a whole burial of Hulk Hogan. There wasn't a single mention of Nick Hogan and his, Nick was obviously in it, but like his, the whole prison stint and the driving accident and all of that stuff that went along with it. They didn't touch any of that, but I don't think they needed to. That's not what this is about. If you want that information, it's out there. If you want certain stories, they're out there. This was not telling those stories. This was telling a specific story of the rise and the legacy of Hulk Hogan, and I thought they did a pretty good job in doing that.
For the most part. Again, like I feel some things maybe should have been elaborated a bit more. The whole, like, it just fell apart, and then he just decides to cheat on his wife, and that's why it all fell apart. I feel like there's a bit more there. I feel like in his book, like he mentioned, there's much more to it than just that, but they kind of just kept it to that. I don't think they wanted to expand on it more than they already did. So I was very surprised. I don't know about you. Like, I think in the past you haven't been a big fan of Linda, but they gave her like a lot of screen time. Like, she was like the second person besides Hogan that had the most screen time, I think.
Yes. Well, she had said some pretty negative things about Hogan and some pretty just awful things publicly while he was still alive. But I think, since his passing, she's had time to reflect, and she came off well. And I was struck by that love story between Hogan and Linda. It seemed like they always loved each other. They still loved each other. They just weren't able to keep it together because of a variety of things. But, Linda in the documentary, after Hogan's gone, she's talking about, she's sad that he's gone, and she says she always loved him and she still loves him. And at one point they asked Hogan, when was a time where you were happiest in your life? And he doesn't say right now with my third wife, who, he says, when the kids were young and Linda was just being the best wife and the best soulmate and this and that, and Linda was this and Linda was that. And Hogan really talks about the happiest times in his life were when he was happiest with Linda. And that, I thought, was really a nice story arc throughout the documentary, is that these were real people who found each other, who built a family, who loved each other, and sadly they weren't able to keep it together, but that love was always there, and they always longed for those times where things were good. It was, tragic story. Beautiful story. And seeing that was the part of Hogan's life I really didn't know much about. And seeing that was really nice. Getting to see the personal side, the real side of Terry Bollea and who he was as a man. Not just as a wrestler, but as a real human being, as a man, as a father and a husband. So that struck me for sure. That was impactful. I liked how everybody buried the Warrior. I think it's cool to bury the Ultimate Warrior again. I thought that was great. Bury the hell out of him on a Hogan doc. You kind of have to, as you should.
Well, that's where there's a lot of hypocrisy. Because, he's like, oh, we got to get someone new. Like, we got to be that new up-and-coming person. Oh, what Warrior didn't work out? Oh, Bret Hart, he's not the guy. It didn't seem like he really wanted to give it up whatsoever. He says, oh, he wants to pass torch. No, he didn't.
Yeah, I think he did, and then sometimes he didn't. And they even talked about that. One day he's retiring, the next day he's getting ready for another big run. On the one hand, it hurts and you want to break. On the other hand, being on top is pretty good.
Well, I just remember WrestleMania 9 being very sad that Bret lost. And then when Hogan won, being I guess that's okay. I guess. It's not what I wanted, but okay.
I don't know, man. I grew up watching wrestling, and Hulk Hogan was the man. And I remember thinking at WrestleMania 9, oh, yeah, good. Bret's cool and all, but, Hogan is the champion. Bret's, Intercontinental champion. Still, at that point, he wasn't really established as a legit main eventer. You figured Yoko would beat him. Yoko does beat him, and you're like, oh, okay. Yoko, well, that sucks. But, oh, here comes everybody's hero, Hulk Hogan. And for me, WrestleMania 9, I don't know, was that 93? So at the time, I'm 7, not even 8. 7-year-old me was all about Hulk Hogan. He was my favorite. So when he won at 9, I was sick. I know there were people in the documentary that were like, oh, no one liked it, and it was a bad idea, and I was a kid, and even I thought it was bad. And John's here saying he thought it was bad. But, John, you're a couple years older than me, so maybe that counts for something. I don't know. Maybe you're not a Hulkamaniac. True like me. But
I'm not.
No, you're not, clearly. And that's okay. But I was happy when Hogan won the belt at 9. I thought Hogan should win the belt at every WrestleMania. I thought that was what WrestleMania was about. That's what WrestleMania was built upon. Hogan winning the belt and then flexing at the end of the show for everybody to be happy. I liked it. I wasn't done with it. I discovered wrestling when I was 4. So at that point, I'd been watching wrestling for 3 years, and Hulk Hogan was the man the whole time. So I was not finished with it. I was yeah, I'll take more of this. This is my favorite part. When Hulk Hogan wins, it's the best part. Give me more of that. And then when he left WWF in 1993, I was what the hell is this? And then Bret was the guy. I was okay, I can stick with Bret. And then Bret beats Bob Backlund, and I'm oh, cool, he's wrestling Bob Backlund. Then he loses to Bob Backlund because Owen screwed him, and I'm Owen, Bret is going to get revenge on you. Then he's going to take that belt back from Bob Backlund. And then Bob Backlund loses the belt the next night to Diesel, who sucked, who was a terrible wrestler, who wasn't anywhere close to being as charismatic as Hulk Hogan. Also, Kevin Nash in this thing, well, I watch wrestling and I didn't even care. And I saw Hogan and I was I look better than him. I'm bigger than him. And I'm maybe so, but you didn't have an ounce of the charisma or star power that Hulk Hogan did. Hogan had this energy that no one else had, that Diesel didn't have, certainly, because as a kid, let me tell you, when Diesel won the belt, I was I'm not watching WWF anymore. I'm not watching wrestling anymore. I stopped watching for a year or 2, And you know what brought me back? Hogan in the NWO. I was like, Hogan's a bad guy now? What is this? It was Hogan that brought me back to wrestling. I don't even think I'd be doing this show or watching wrestling if it wasn't for Hogan. First getting me into it, and then when he went away, I was like, okay, Brett, I guess, is the next guy. And then Brett loses, and then the guy that beats Brett loses to this big jabroni who couldn't wrestle for shit. And I was like, this guy really sucks. I hated Diesel. And then Hogan all of a sudden is in WCW doing cool things. I was like, well, this is what I want to watch. I want to watch Hogan doing cool things. Oh, he's got Diesel as his sidekick? That makes sense. Diesel shouldn't be the main guy. He should be Hogan's sidekick. And that's what he was in WCW, and that's what made sense to me in my brain as a wrestling fan. Because Hogan was the man. Always will be. No one more impactful than the Hulkster. No one more important in the history of the business than the Hulkster. The best ever.
Well, just a correction from yesterday, because you said Hogan main evented the 9 WrestleManias.
Yeah, I know there was one there that he didn't.
Yeah. And it's still kind of about him. And you could even argue 18, right?
Yeah, but 4 he didn't main event, I know.
All right. And they also say in the doc that, you're welcome, just to make sure, clarification, facts, or fact checking.
Imagine main eventing 1, 2, and 3 with Hogan, doing the Hogan-Andre match, and then the next year being like, we're going to move on from Hogan.
Well, yeah, but that Hogan reign was like before WrestleMania 1 all the way almost to 4. Like that reign was longer than Roman Reigns' reign.
Yeah.
As champion.
Yeah, it was more important. It's better.
So and that was a big thing for Saturday Night's Main Event to have the title change on that. That was gigantic.
Yeah. Yeah. Also Triple H, okay? He goes, did I know that Hogan was gonna be booed when he came out on the Netflix premiere in LA? Probably. Well, then what the hell you sent him out there for?
I knew you were going to get pissed about that.
Idiot.
I knew this.
What are you doing? You sent him out there to get booed? Why? Why?
I don't think he cares.
Because he hates Hogan, because him and Shawn hate Hogan's guts. You hear Triple H talking, I didn't fire Hulk Hogan. I fired Terry Bollea. He almost says it with a smile on his face, like he loved it. And okay, also, Triple H, holy shit, dude. Triple H goes, when Hogan came back and he had another run, all of a sudden Vince loved Hogan again, and we all thought it was a bad idea. No, dude, you thought it was a bad idea because your father-in-law told you that you were going to drop the belt to Hogan, and you didn't want to, and you thought it was a bad idea. Fucking fuck Triple H, you dick. 3 things he said in that documentary totally exposed him. I fired Terry Bollea, like, gleefully. Okay, 1. Did I think he was going to get booed? Probably. So why would you send him out there in that spot? What was the purpose other than to embarrass him because you hate him, because you and your buddy Shawn Michaels hate his guts, which is established. Shawn made that very clear because he's an asshole. And in the documentary, no one said Shawn was an asshole about that, by the way. They talked about the match, but they're like, well, Shawn had to do what he had to do to make the match entertaining because Hogan was past his prime. If Shawn was really that great of a wrestler, he could have had a great match with Hulk Hogan without acting like a complete buffoon and making a mockery out of the wrestling business. But Shawn is an unprofessional prima donna, always has been, always will be, and that's why he acted like an asshole at that SummerSlam match with Hogan, because him and his little buddy. I was gonna say a different kind of buddy, but you know him and Hunter are a little close, a little too close for comfort, brother. Triple H told you, he's by a lot of things, but lingual's not one of them. Anyways, Shawn and Hunter, little buddies there, they hate Hogan, so they're gonna, bury him every chance that they got. No one thought Hogan should be the champ, but Vince Bitch, everybody saw the writing on the wall. We can make tons of money with another Hogan run. This Triple H game King of Kings thing is fucking stale and boring. Let's go with the hot act and push this Triple H to the side, except Triple H thought, I'm in my prime. I'm the best. I'm the cerebral. Shut the fuck up. You sucked, bro. You were terrible. You were a god-awful champion, and most fans were so relieved when Hogan brought Hulkamania back and won the belt and took it from you because you sucked. So don't tell me on this fucking documentary that everybody was pissed that Vince took the belt off of you and gave it to Hogan, which you didn't even mention in the documentary, did you, Triple H? You didn't say that, Vince gave the title to Hogan. He said Vince gave the title to Hogan and everybody was mad. He didn't mention that he took it off of you to do it. Triple H didn't mention that, did he? He didn't say, the guy that they took the belt off actually was me, and I thought that was a bad idea. No, you didn't say. You said, consensus was everybody thought it was a bad idea, because he's rewriting history. But it was a good idea at the time. It was a very good idea. But you thought it was a bad idea because you were the champ and you wanted to stay the champ with your fragile ego and your buddy Shawn Michaels getting all pissed. Fucking Triple H. Ugh. Doofus.
Just remember, Shawn found God, though. So this is found God, Shawn.
Yeah, I know. Shawn Michaels and Triple H combined didn't come close to drawing half of what Hogan did in his career. Combined didn't draw half. Fuck out of here. It wasn't good for business. Really? You remember how much merch Hogan was selling back then? Shut the fuck up. Triple H, you doofus. I couldn't believe it. Everybody thought it was a bad idea. Bro, because you were the champ, you mean? Because he beat you? And you were pissed because your ego was huge and you thought you should be on top forever? And then when a bigger star came in, you were intimidated and you couldn't cut the mustard? Fucking Triple H. Garbage. And it's important, John, for us to say these things because we live through it and they are trying to rewrite history right in front of us and people out there will believe it. So it is very, very important for us. I feel as I grow older, it's more important to say these things and tell it like it actually was because Triple H coming out and spinning these stories is going to become the truth one day, and it shouldn't because it's not. Hogan at that time should have won the belt. Hogan after Mania with The Rock was on fire like no one else in the wrestling business, and putting him on top was the move. And when he came out to attack your buddy Shawn here in Montreal, the roof blew off the place. So, sorry. They love Hogan in Montreal, which was cool, too, because Hogan talked about the night after Mania with The Rock, where he got like a 25, 30-minute standing ovation from the fans at Raw in Montreal. And he talked about it. This is his final interview. He's remembering that night fondly. And that brings me joy and makes my heart warm because I was there and I remember, and it's a moment I will never forget because I've never heard a louder crowd in my life for anything. And I've seen George St. Pierre win the title at the Bell Center. I've seen some crazy shit. I have never heard a crowd louder for longer than for Hogan. It was like 30 minutes of people going nuts. 20,000 on their feet, screaming, going nuts, chanting Hogan's name because Hulkamania had just returned. The red and yellow was back. It blew our minds. It was a moment I will never forget. Were you there? You weren't there, right?
No, I wasn't there for that, but I watched it on TV.
I'm telling you, dude, I've been to... I couldn't count how many Raws and SmackDowns, pay-per-views throughout the years, right? There's things that I saw that people tell me, my brother would be like, remember we saw this? And I'm like, I don't remember that. That Hogan promo, I will never forget. Never. These are moments that last a lifetime. It was magic. It was like otherworldly. It was more than wrestling. It was maybe the greatest thing I've ever seen in the WWE. And I've seen some cool stuff. But that was one of those things I'll never, ever forget. I'll never forget seeing Brett get screwed, and I'll never forget the ovation Hogan got after Mania. And the look on Jerry Lawler's face as they wheeled him by after the heart attack. Things you never forget seeing on Monday Night Raw.
Crazy life it's been so far.
Yeah.
But I agree with you completely about how when I look at this, a lot of people are gonna like, oh, this is how it was, and it's like, no, it's just the narrative they're spinning. It's not exactly how it is, and I feel bad for like newer generations to look up to this and see like they'll believe this is the truth, and it's not the truth. And one of the big ones that I found quite disturbing was the fact how they're trying to rewrite the whole WCW debut, how that was like a bomb before the NWO thing happened. And actually, like when he came in with Flair, they gave the match that people wanted to see, that actually got a buzz and helped push them to get Nitro. But no, let's not paint that light. We'll just say that it was crap. It was really only crap once that whole Dungeon of Doom stuff happened. Once that, then it became very cartoony and very bad. But that actually took a bit of time before that happened. You had to get through the whole Flair thing, through Vader. Then you got to the Dungeon of Doom, and then it went kind of to crap.
And it did put WCW on the map. It legitimized WCW when they got Hulk Hogan. He was still the biggest star in wrestling.
I mean, it helped push them to go head-to-head with Monday Night Raw that no one else has ever done. So, like, again, the rewriting of history is kind of disturbing about this. And yes, Hogan will still do the whole exaggeration about Andre, and they admit that too, that he exaggerates the whole WrestleMania 3, the attendance, how much Andre weighed. I'm glad they, at least said that yes, there are some exaggerations with Hogan, but it adds to the story. So I mean that's fine. It's just when they completely change the way it was, that's the problem.
Yeah. But that's kind of part of the Hogan myth, There's a bunch of different stories. It's the legend of Hulkamania.
Well, that's why even Hogan said it. And it's like, well, I'd fact check that first.
Yeah, but I think for the most part, like, I didn't hear Hogan say anything crazy in this documentary where you go, whoa, whoa, whoa. He didn't talk about Metallica or anything.
No, I felt, again, like, I feel it's kind of twisting things, how he put over, like, oh, he looked up to Dusty Rhodes. Like, I feel it was more superstar Billy Graham, especially if you look at their characters. Like, he clearly was trying to be more like Billy Graham than Dusty Rhodes. Like, I'm sure, like, looking at Billy Graham, how Billy Graham was, like, physique-wise, yeah, he was trying to be more like Billy Graham. Like, Dusty had good promos, but he didn't definitely try to emulate him in terms of the way he wrestled or how he looked whatsoever.
Yeah, but I think Hogan over the years has tried to downplay how much he took from superstar Billy Graham because people would say, oh, well, he just ripped him off. Because in a way, he kind of did. Him and Jesse
also,
Ventura.
didn't they kind of have like a falling out too, like Billy Graham and Hogan and
also
like
the
all
WWE,
of wrestling?
like the WWE tries to not talk about superstar Billy Graham.
I was surprised they mentioned him. Period. Like, but they did.
Yeah,
it's part of the story, so that's good.
Just a little bit. WWE tries to shy away from him for a number of reasons. Yeah. Well, I enjoyed it. I was waiting for it. I thought it was good. Well done. Well done.
Oh,
Triple
another
H pissed
thing
me
too,
off, but you know, what are you going to do? It's Triple H.
I'm surprised, like, the people that they could have used for this. Because I know at WrestleMania 18 that Kevin Owens was there. So he could have actually added more to it about what he thought of, like, the Rock and Hogan match.
Oh.
But they didn't use that. I'm very surprised.
I don't know. I think they had
Well, Kevin is definitely great at giving, like, a quote or two. That's for sure. I would have used it.
I don't know. I wouldn't have. They probably didn't know or whatever. They didn't think of it. I thought it was cool that they had the sitting president of the United States. You know, whatever you think of him, I thought it was cool that they got the, you know, Donald Trump, who's the current president, to do an interview for a Hulk Hogan documentary in the White House. He said some very complimentary things about the Hulkster. I thought that was kind of cool. I mean, say what you want about the guy. I mean, it's still the president of America talking about Hulk Hogan.
I think the voice message was huge. And Triple H even said that he felt that Hogan helped get Trump elected pretty much.
Yeah. I don't know how true that is, but, you know. I don't think a lot of voters were like, you know, I wasn't going to vote for Trump, but now that Hogan's with him, here we go. You know? I don't know many people that are like, oh, who's Hogan voting for? I don't know who I'm going to vote for. I got to find out who Hogan's voting for. Then I'll make my decision. I feel like that's not a common thought in the American voters' minds. But, hey, I'm not an American voter. What do I know? Maybe Hogan did get Donald Trump elected. Yikes.
The fans did. They remember when the fans saw him afterwards? Like, the fans felt he helped to get Trump elected.
Yes, some fans did say that to him, but I think they're being nice. I think they were Trump fans that were happy that Hogan was on their side of the thing. You know?
Not to defend Triple H, but I think despite the whole, like, he thought Hogan was going to get booed, Hogan was there mainly to promote his beer. So, and that was a sponsor with WWE. So I think despite what Triple H thought, they had to have that happen no matter what because they needed to get it out with Hogan's beer because they were working with it.
There are other ways to present him. There was you know, if he knew that was the possible reaction, come up with something different creatively where he helps a beloved babyface or he attacks a hated heel or he does something funny or backstage, not in front of the live crowd, but just doing that where you knew he's going to get a bad reaction. It's like, come on. And admitting that you knew he was going to get a bad reaction and still trotting him out there. It's like, so what was the point of that? Why did you do that? Do something else, you know? But it felt in the moment, and, you know, even Vince criticized the way that Hogan was used in that final appearance. And it felt on the documentary that Triple H did it vindictively because he and his good friend Shawn Michaels sincerely dislike Hogan. And that, to me, is disgusting. He's putting his personal feelings ahead of the business, which, you know, he says he doesn't do. But clearly he does. Clearly he does. Triple H. All right, let's talk about AEW. I thought Dynamite was fun this week. I thought Dynamite was very fun. MJF did a nice promo there. Darby Allin had a hell of a match with Tommaso Ciampa in the main event. Goddamn, that jump that he did from the top rope, the top post to the outside, the crossbody on Ciampa through the table. nuts. Yeah. Nuts. Darby is incredible. Great champion. Great match with Ciampa. I thought Dynamite was good this week. I like Darby's promo, too.
I mean, it's really the main event that really made Dynamite. I mean, the other matches were okay, but that main event match, like, that was pretty incredible. You don't usually see a match like that on TV too often. Like, Ciampa was a Crimson Mask for most of that match. And that white noise he hit from the second to the outside, that's crazy stuff.
Yeah. That match was great. You could tell it meant a lot to both guys. They were going all out. Well, Ciampa was really going for it. Darby always goes for it. And this was his first match as champion. I thought it was good. I like Darby's promo. I like that MJF came out and was like, give me back my belt. Give me a rematch. Darby's like, no, you got to earn it. I'm going to give a title shot to guys back there that deserve it more than you do. Every week on Dynamite, I'm going to defend this title until my body falls out. And then Ciampa came out, and MJF was like yelling at him, and then Ciampa gave him a kiss on the cheek, and then went to work and had a kick-ass match with Darby. I liked all of that stuff. I liked MJF. I liked his little promo with Kevin Knight. I didn't love Kevin Knight's promo, but I thought MJF was good in it. They'll have a match next week, I think.
For the TNT championship.
For the TNT title. Does MJF win the TNT title?
See, I could see MJF win it, and I could see them do title for title at Double or Nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Darby even said, MJF, if you want a shot at this, you're going to have to put something up. You're going to have to put something on the line. How about another belt?
Well, the title that, besides the world title, means a lot to Darby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Maybe Double or Nothing? That does kind of make sense for Double or Nothing, right? Like, it's like, okay, let's put two titles on the line. Double or Nothing. It's literally Double or Nothing.
It goes with it. It sounds good. It'll be fantastic because it's in New York, right?
Yeah. At the tennis stadium in Queens.
All right. Yeah.
Louis Armstrong Stadium.
It's usually where they do Grand Slam, right? In the past?
Yes. I think it used to have another name, didn't it? Maybe not. No, Louis Armstrong
Either way, I think
Stadium. It's where they have the U.S. Open of tennis. And it is where AEW's Double or Nothing. One of the venues for the U.S. Open, Louis Armstrong Stadium. Double or Nothing, outdoor tennis stadium, May 24th in Queens. I think Darby MJF makes sense. And yeah, MJF being a New York guy, wrestling Darby for the belt, Double or Nothing, TNT versus AEW title on the line. Yep. We only have one match official for that pay-per-view. It is Okada versus Takeshita for the international title. And I did see Edge cut a promo for a New York street fight. Edge and Christian versus the FTR for the AEW tag titles. Edge saying that if he and Christian lose, they will retire from being a tag team. They're not going to retire from wrestling, but they will never team again. So waiting for FTR's response, but I would assume it would be a yes. Otherwise, what's he cutting that promo for with a stipulation and, everything ready? It seemed like one of those promos where it's like, yeah, okay, they're going to say yes and the match is going to happen. So I would say Edge and Christian versus the FTR in a street fight. Maybe this is where Edge and Christian win, or maybe, this is it for Edge and Christian as a team. I'm not really sure. Either way, I think we're setting up for 3 big matches for Double or Nothing. Okada, Takeshita, FTR, Edge and Christian street fight, which is going to be good with a lot on the line, the titles and the tag team. And then MJF versus Darby with 2 belts on the line. I think that's a pretty good pay-per-view for Double or Nothing. Good starting point, at least, right?
I think there's a bunch of matches you could add on there too. I don't know if you noticed, like it feels like Sheeta is slowly turning heel, it seems.
Yeah.
So I think something might happen with that. I think they might do Sheeta versus Statlander, from what it looks like. So that's something.
Yeah.
I know you're not dying for that, but that's probably going to happen.
I feel like they got nothing for Tekla either as their champion. She just exists. She wasn't even on the show this week.
Well, it's the problem with not having Tony Storm around, because I think they wanted to do that, and now they can't do that. So yeah, you kind of need to bring in people for. This would be a good time to bring back like Britt Baker, I think. I think that'd be a very intriguing matchup for Tekla.
That would be nice. Or maybe, I guess there's like a 90-day no-compete for like a Zelina Vega or Alba Fire, but...
Right.
That would be good right about now. Just a little boost for their division. What do you think of Samoa Joe's return? He beat Cody Chun in a match that took way too long.
Well, Joe wanted it to go longer than it needed to, because Joe wanted to play with him a little bit for whatever reason. But it's nice to see Joe back. Hopefully he does something. I don't know what's going to happen with what's left of the ops, but
yeah,
wait and see. But it's always good to have him around.
Yeah, I just thought the return match was weird. Who the hell's Cody Chun? He was like a jobber, but he was there for too long.
It happens a lot in AEW, like
I know.
Matches like this were supposed to be like enhancement.
Yeah, but sometimes it's like a semi-name, like somebody you've seen before against like an established star, and you're like, okay, this established star should walk through him, and the match is actually competitive. But this wasn't even that. This is a guy who's like a jabroni, like a nobody you've never seen before, and then he got like some offense in on Joe, and you're like, what is this? This was bad. Not a good move. And Will Ospreay and Mark Davis had a decent match that ended when Ospreay got hurt. I mean, not really hurt, but that's the angle.
Well, he took a pile driver on the ring apron.
Yeah, he took a pile driver on the ring apron, and his neck is like... I don't understand the deal with Will Ospreay. He was gone for like a year. His neck was all hurt, and now he's back. But his neck is still hurt?
Well, his neck keeps getting attacked, especially throughout that match. He kept dropping him on his neck all the time, and his neck's all taped up. So,
right.
He's selling
well, how
the
are we
neck.
supposed to believe in this guy if he's got a stack of dimes for a neck?
Well, it's just he loses feeling in his arm. It comes back, but he loses it every now and then.
Yeah. And then Mark Davis was going to, like, beat up Ospreay after the match, maybe end him with another pile driver, but then Jon Moxley and the whatever they're called, the Death Riders, came out and they stopped him and they carried Will Ospreay away. I guess they're trying to help him, enlist them into their group. Moxley beat Will Ospreay at the pay-per-view, and now he's like taking pity upon him. I don't understand. What the hell was that?
I think they're trying to teach him some sort of lesson. I'm not sure exactly what, because I never really understand what Moxley's doing. It's been years of not trying to understand what the heck he's doing, but it's something that they have an idea that they're doing here. And again, it's something to do with lessons and teaching. So we'll find out next week on Dynamite, more than likely.
Yeah, it was weird. It was a weird part. Not my favorite part. My favorite part of Dynamite was the MJF stuff and the Darby match. Darby Ciampa. Ciampa's having some good matches in AEW. Ciampa's so much more interesting in AEW than he was in his whole WWE run.
What did you think of the new Lio Rush?
He's kind of freaky. He's a little spooky. I kind of like it.
I feel like he's trying to do like a Lord of the Rings kind of gimmick.
I guess. I don't know. He's like a creepy demon. He's like a little,
right,
like a troll of some sort, or like a goblin. He's like a goblin. like a wrestling goblin. I think it's actually good because Lio Rush was a guy with no real gimmick. The only time Lio Rush had a good gimmick was when he was Bobby Lashley's manager back on Raw years ago. I thought he was really good in that role. But I guess he didn't like it, or they didn't like it, or something happened. And then he's just kind of been bouncing around and weird stuff. And it's like he quits this company and he retires from wrestling. And it's like, I don't understand what's going on with him. And he resurfaces in AEW, and he's got this weird little gimmick. I thought the match with Brody King was fun. I thought the gimmick was weird, and I liked it. And I liked that, like, he comes out, he's got the weird gimmick, he looks weird, he's got the contact lenses, he's got the shaved head, he's, like, weird gestures. And then he wrestled really in that gimmick. A lot of times you see a guy in gimmick, and then they get in the ring, and it's just like, regular match, Wyatt 6. But then Lio Rush, like, he's doing this freaky goblin thing, and then in the match, he's, like, acting like a freaky goblin. I thought it was good. I like it. I think it could be something for him. I hope they give him more time on TV to let it breathe, because I think there's something there. Did you like it?
I find it weird. I don't know where it's really going exactly. I mean, it does stand out.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going in terms of like a push or anything, but they are using him. I feel it's more because he's getting attention at this point. And but
I mean, he's got a gimmick that's weird, that's unique, that's getting attention, that he seems to be playing pretty well. And he's always been very skilled in the ring and athletic, and the thing that's been missing is, like, what is he? What's his attitude? What sets him apart? This sets him apart. I honestly think that if done right, this could be huge for him. Like, really big. Because he's a very talented guy in the ring. It's just never clicked. This might click. This might be the thing. It's a weird thing, but, like, I saw it and I was like, I don't hate this. He's gone nuts. Something's going on. He's a goblin now. Sure.
Yeah, I'll give it a chance. It's just, don't know what to make of it so far, but I'm intrigued, I guess. That's for sure. I'm intrigued. Brody King did beat him.
Yep.
And Brody King will get the title shot next week on Dynamite.
Sure. That'll be a fun match. Brody King should beat him. You know, I'm not mad that Brody won. I think Brody is a guy that AEW's got some faith in, and he's a talented guy. He's big, he's strong, he's a good wrestler. I think he needs a little bit more character. I really don't know who Brody King is other than a big guy with tattoos. I don't know what he stands for. I don't know what he cares about. I don't really know what he sounds like. I think that's what he sounds like. It's kind of it, right?
It's pretty much it, really.
I'm Brody King, and I'm going to get you. It's like, yeah, all right, you're a wrestler. I get it. You're doing like a thing. It's, a little hokey, a little 1995, not really 2026 promo-wise, but, hey, some guys can't quite get it. Some guys are still stuck in that 1993, like, let me tell you something. This is what I'm going to do to you, and then I'll destroy. And it's like, all right, man, nobody talks like that anymore. If you look at the top guys in the business, they're not talking like that. But you think that this is a good move. But that's how kind of Brody King cuts these promos, and it's weird, but, whatever. Some guys don't get it. Talented guy, though. Big, scary-looking dude. If he just didn't talk, I think he'd be better off. Some guys shouldn't talk. Like Obafemi this week, he comes out on Raw, he does his cool little dance, and then he goes, I'm the ruler now, or whatever, and then he just leaves.
Yeah.
Perfect. Short and sweet. Why? Like last week on Raw before WrestleMania, Obafemi's in the ring, and he's doing this like in-ring promo with a microphone. And I'm like, what the hell is this? You know?
Right.
This is bad. This is making him look bad. Paul Heyman did something in ECW that was very, very smart. He hid the flaws and accentuated the good parts. Obafemi, live mic in the ring, not really the best if you want to have him talk for 5-10 minutes. So don't have him do that. He doesn't have to do that. He could go to the ring, look scary, beat people up, do his little dance, and go home. People will like that. Not everybody needs to go to the ring for 15 minutes and talk. Because of The Rock and Stone Cold, they set that mold, and now everybody in wrestling, and in WWE wrestling especially, thinks this is what you have to do if you're a main event star. Disagree. I don't recall Vader ever going into the ring to cut a 15-minute promo. And as far as I know, he was a legit monster that made money, that went to the Hall of Fame, that worked main events. Never cut a 15-minute promo in the ring. Never once. I don't remember Undertaker talking for the first, 15 years of his career. And he was over as hell. He didn't say a word. He said, rest in peace. Paul Bearer did some talking for him. But, you don't need to talk. Some guys don't need to talk. I'm sick of this thought in wrestling where if you're going to be a star, we have to test you in all facets of the game, and you got to be able to wrestle, and you got to look good, and you got to be able to talk. It's like, why do you have to be able to talk? I don't think everybody needs to talk. Brock Lesnar never really talked that much. He could cut promos, and he talked and whatever, but they had Heyman do it for him. And you know what? It worked. He was big, he was scary, he was intimidating, he didn't talk very much, and it kind of helped with the aura of Brock Lesnar. Now, once in a while, he did talk, and that was fun, but, Obafemi does not need to talk a lot, especially with that fake accent. Have him not talk for a while, and then when he does talk, just drop the accent and hope people forget he ever did it. That's what I would do. I would go, okay, Oba, you're going to, not talk very much or at all for a few months, and then we'll have you cut a promo, and you'll talk in your regular voice, and then we just act like you never spoke in an accent. Cool.
Well, you're not wrong. Some people don't need to talk. Some people are great talkers and should always talk.
Sure, like MJF.
I think they found, yeah. I think for the most part they figured out who should do that and who shouldn't.
Yeah. But, they test guys. They go, oh, maybe he, if he's going to be a main eventer, he's got to go in the ring for 10 minutes with a mic. It's like, why, dude? Why do they do that? They try to do it with everybody.
WWE is different with that. I feel in AEW, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But WWE, it's a lot more based on talking to sell the match.
Yeah. But even AEW, Darby won the belt, and, first thing he did this week was cut a promo in the ring. Live mic by himself in the ring.
It's also rare, though. I mean, you rarely see him talk, so it's it's a new thing almost in a sense. It's just to add something to him as champion. That's it, I think.
He's actually good at it, though. I thought his promo was very good.
He's fine. He understands who he is. That's the thing. A lot of them don't understand who they are, so
yes,
tough.
Yes, people do not understand who they are, and that is clear when you see a lot of promos in wrestling. And the guys that do understand who they are and understand who their character is, I mean, that's how you excel in the art of professional wrestling.
So the new girl that was on Raw, Ruka, I don't know if she knows it so far.
Nope. I saw that promo. It was awkward. But she had a good showing against Liv Morgan.
I mean, I think she's a good, acrobat.
Yeah.
But her selling needs a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
They did say she's only been wrestling for 4 years, and it shows.
Yeah.
But, it is nice to see that, hey, you don't need to be wrestling for years and years to make it in WWE. You just need to have a great resume, pretty much, and they'll put you in NXT, and you can do a bunch of cool flips. They'll put you on the main show.
Yeah, you don't need to work. Just do some flips, Anyways, I loved the Liv Morgan presentation this week on Raw with the championship belt, with her whole group. She's like the new leader of the Judgment Day. Finn is gone. She's got Dom. She's got JD. She's got Raquel. She's got Roxanne. She's got 4 people behind her, and she's the leader. She's got the belt. She's got a song that she's singing. I mean, the presentation for Liv Morgan on Raw was like championship, top star. Very good. I was really impressed with like just how they looked as a group. I was like, wow, this is a cool looking group. This is like a new Judgment Day, and Liv is the leader, and it's cool like this. I don't know. It works for me. I like the song too. Is that weird? It's in my head. Trouble, trouble, that's me. Da 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 da, Liv Morgan. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Well, I think you just like to sing too much for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Fine. Sorry. Jeez.
It's okay. It's all right. I'll just ask your kids why. Why does Daddy do that?
They love it too. They sing too. They love that song.
They probably encourage it.
They do. They do.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. We sing along. We have sing-alongs. We have a good time. Trouble, trouble, that's me. It's good. So, yeah, good for Liv Morgan. Congratulations.
It would sound better as Cookie Monster, I think.
Okay. Well, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing impressions. Show's over. Show's over, folks. Thanks to all the members. Jason Pete out in Mexico. Angelo Contagonis out in Laval. Antoinette out in Toronto. Antoinette now a member for 63 months, almost 6 years. That's crazy. Thank you, Antoinette, and thank you for everybody who has stuck with us for so many years here on the Ringside Report Network. Over at join.ringsidereport.net, that's how you support on YouTube, or membership.ringsidereport.net. That's how you can support directly without giving Google a cut, you know. Google gets a cut when you go to join.ringsidereport.net. You go to membership.ringsidereport.net, and everything goes to us. Nothing for Google. Google gets enough, you know. Because Google, they own YouTube, so they get a percentage. You know how it works. Subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It would be great. It would be great if we had like 1 million subscribers so I could get Johnny North one of those YouTube plaques. I think that would be sick. It seems like a lot of subscribers, but like, hey, you know, one at a time, baby. One at a time. So subscribe if you haven't already. It's a great way to support. Because Johnny North needs a plaque, all right? I need to get this guy a plaque of some sort.
Okay. I already have like a plaque for like Match of the Year, and I think there's another Match of the Year plaque coming. So if anything, people can buy my T-shirt. I believe there's like a link or a tab you can buy off the YouTube, if I'm not mistaken, or the website, ringsidereport.net.
I mean, I've got an MVP and I've got some plaques, too, from back in the day, John, but I'm not bragging.
Participation awards? That's okay.
I said MVP, tournament MVP, league MVP, team MVP, that type of plaque, you know? Baseball awards. But
individual,
that's a long time
that's pretty
ago.
Good.
Yeah, they're somewhere, you know? I've got some MVP plaques, okay? Most valuable player. For like the season. It's pretty good. I was half decent.
I think a good friend of ours, Jeremy Prophet, would contest that you were MVP, but
I don't know. He played for Verdun. They pretty much sucked.
Okay, well, again, I don't know like the story was when you guys played against each other.
Yeah, well, that's a long time ago. What does he know about it? NDG always beat Verdun. Always. He was all right, though. I remember him being decent. I don't think he would say that I was a bad baseball player. I think that would be...
Oh, I don't think he's bad, but MVP, no, it's like...
Well, check the stats. What can I say, John? I've got the plaques to prove it. I mean, I don't have them. They're at my parents' house somewhere, but they're out there. All right? So, it's not me saying it. It's Bleacher Report that says it. Okay? It's not just me saying it. The plaques speak for themselves, John. What do you want me to say? I can't throw a ball anymore. I'm not as good as I used to be. I used to be good, and now I am not that good. But I used to have no jiu-jitsu skills, and now I have lots. So, some things drop off and some things come in. Can't have everything in life, brother. You got to pick and choose. And I have chosen to end the show. Goodbye. Thank you, everybody. We love you. We'll see you again real soon right here on the Ringside Report Network.
Thanks for sticking with us to the end. We would really appreciate it if you could help us spread the word.
You know the drill. Hit that subscribe button. Flip those notification switches.
We are an audience-supported network, so consider becoming a recurring supporter at membership.ringsidereport.net. Check out our website at ringsidereport.net. Hope to see you again next time, and have a good night.